You're listening to Lights, Camera, Latino, the podcast, hosted by Angel Fabián Rivera. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms as Lights, Camera, Latino and Angel Fabián Rivera. Hello everyone, welcome back to Lights, Camera, Latino, the podcast. This is a place where we dive deep into the captivating world of entertainment with influential Latinos shaping the industry. As always, I am Angel Fabián Rivera and I'm so excited to be back here for another episode for the Atlanta Film Festival 50th anniversary that's being celebrated this year. And we've had amazing films, amazing shows, short films, projects. Things are happening at the festival. And today, I'm excited to be bringing in this producer, actor who I met actually at the festival. And we connected throughout his project and what he's doing. And I'm so excited to bring no other than Martín Aramayo to the podcast.
Hello. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good.
You feeling good? Yes.
Yeah.
Martin, is this your first year competing at the Atlanta Film Festival?
Yes. Yeah. It's my first film festival ever, really. Yeah.
Wow. Congrats for that, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's been really fun. It's been cool to like meet a bunch of new people and just hang out and watch cool stuff. It's been great.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Like creating the community and what the festival does. And I think people need to take advantage of that because it's a place where we know what we are doing, right? What the community is doing.
Yeah, that's why I think it's like a great sort of like, for me at least, it's a bit of like, it forces me to network in a way that I maybe am not always able to do, sometimes because sometimes there's networking events and it's like I'm working or I have other life responsibilities, and this I was like, I'm doing the Atlanta Film Festival the whole week, so it's been really great to just get a chance to meet new people.
Yeah, no, and I think, you said it best. I think it's about taking every opportunity that the festival has to offer, right? Like every event, every panel, like how can you get the best out of it? And that I think is the key to be successful in a festival. Like it's more than just like putting your film. It's like what else are you doing, right? And creating the community and connecting with more people and seeing like how can we help each other, because the indie community is the next big thing.
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
That's what it is. So Martin, I wanna before we dive into Reptilia, I want to talk about you. Where are you from? How did you end up here in Atlanta?
I'm from Houston, Texas, actually, and I've been here for 8 years. I moved here in 2018. I ended up here. I guess I was sort of I was more of an actor. Well, I was still doing production on the production side at the time, but I was kind of deciding I wanted to like focus a little bit more on acting at the time, and I was deciding where to go. I didn't really want to go to LA. I was thinking about New York City. I wanted to go to New York City, and then I don't know. I talked to a couple people, and they were like, "What about Atlanta?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I hadn't even really thought about Atlanta." And so yeah, I came here.
And you've been here since then.
Yeah. It's been great.
Yeah. So also I want to talk about your background, because your accent sometimes sounds as an Argentinian. But are you fully Argentinian?
No. My mom's from El Salvador and my dad's from Argentina. I have like a weird. Mi acento en español es un poco medio raro. La gente nunca sabe de donde soy. They like, no one ever knows, because it's kind of it has like a bit of an Argentine rhythm, but it's not super Argentine, so people often like they don't know where I'm from. It's like a kind of a meshed accent.
Wow. So what was it like growing up, having those two Latini, those two backgrounds in Texas? Because when I think about Texas, I don't think about Argentina. I don't think about so how was it growing up there?
Yeah, it was good. In Houston there's a strong community of people from Argentina, and I grew up around a lot of Argentines, like a lot of them. and not that many people from El Salvador really, even though there's a good amount of them in Houston. But our family, friends, and like, you know, they're all primarily from Argentina. But yeah, so I don't know. It's you know, Houston's a super diverse city. So I grew up around a lot of Latinos, obviously, but you know, a lot of white people, a lot of black people, a lot of Asian people, a lot of people from Africa. There's a big Nigerian population in Houston. I don't know, just it's super diverse. So I don't know.
No, I love that because, you know, somehow you kept, you know, the way that you speak, of course, it tells me that you were surrounded by your community, of course, because you speak with the accent somehow in there. But you know, that's what I love. You know, it's just like, for me, it's always very interesting for Latinos growing up here and how communities have been formed like that, right? Like you said, you grew up with people that look like you, and that also adds to who you are today.
Yeah, but so go ahead.
No. Say.
Yeah, it's weird. You know, I think the child of immigrant experience in the United States is sort of very unique, but then also very common. You know, because there's so many of people that are like that, but also everyone is so unique because everybody's parents and the cultures are also different. So it's interesting. It's always, I don't know. I feel very American, but I also realize that I'm not a lot of times in certain things. Yeah.
I love that. Yes. I agree with everything that you said. I think you're completely right. I think that's what's interesting about it. And that's why America is so diverse. You know, when we talk about who are we and how we look like, it's just like it just has become already like a mecca for more people coming into it, and it keeps growing and it keeps evolving and stuff. But yeah, let's talk about this project that really caught my eye.
Okay.
Because I was like, what is this? So it's Reptilia.
Reptilia.
Is a
Yes.
concept.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
And it
Sorry.
follows. No, you're good. And it follows Jane, a washed ashore lizard woman who's looking to start a new life for herself. Can you take me into all of this, because you know this already tells me a lot, but I'm like very curious.
Yeah, so it's interesting that the story is written by Chase Cummins and Morgan Bowling, and their background is sort of growing up as like neurodivergent queer people in the South in very religious communities, and sort of this story sort of sprouts from that feeling of isolation, even though you're surrounded by people, which is sort of led to this, that they wrote the story, and it is a reptilian woman who emerges from the depths of the ocean. She's trying to fit in. She's trying to learn what it's like to be human. And she stumbles into a Meisner acting class. And so that's the concept. And it's funny, it's sci-fi, it's comedy. It's a good time. It's a really good time.
I love that. So why Meisner? And I mean, for many reasons I know. As an actor, people know, but why Meisner? For the people that don't know, you know what Meisner is.
Yeah, so Meisner is like it's just like, you know, very actory acting technique, I guess. So I think of in layman's way to say that. It's a lot about repetition and like listening and reacting to what your partner is doing and letting things change sort of naturally. That's my understanding of Meisner anyway. And I think it's sort of a great vehicle for this because it's like, it's all about reacting truthfully, and this person, the character that Morgan Bowling plays, Jane, has this big secret. So like she is trying to act and react truthfully while like this giant looming secret is over her. So it's like a great contrast of those two opposing forces.
I love that because something that caught my attention was I haven't seen the show yet, but I'm excited to watch it tomorrow actually. 3 p.m. tomorrow at the Plaza Theater. Reptilia is going to be showing a screening there at the Atlanta Film Festival. We'll talk more about that and how can people get their tickets. But Martin, something that really very made me so excited about the show is that I saw some of the photos that we see this giant creature.
Yeah, the makeup is excellent. So Shane Morton, who is a well-known makeup artist in the community, did the reptilian makeup for us, and it looks phenomenal. It's awesome. So yeah, props to him for that, and he's super talented. But we wanted to really do that practically because I think often those types of things just look great when you do them practically.
They do. I'm bring practical makeup back because it's just the prosthetics and all that stuff. It just makes it more real, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the pictures and the stills that I saw about Reptilia. It just looks amazing, and the makeup, the prosthetics, it's just incredible. How long did it take to get into that whole thing?
The makeup, I actually wasn't there on that day because they shot that at a different location. I was still in Atlanta. But I think it took them a while. I think it was a few hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must have been. It just looks incredible.
Yeah.
Martin, can you talk to us? What are you guys doing with this pilot episode, and how does it work? How is it working for you guys? What is the next step? Because you shot a pilot episode, proof of concept. But then, what is your goal this year with the project?
Well, we'd love to get funding for it and get it made. That's really the goal. If a streamer or someone wants to purchase it and help us make it, that would be awesome. I think that's really the goal, is to find someone to give us money to make it. So if anybody out there wants to give us money to make it, that'd be sweet.
Heck yes, there it is. And right now you're going through different film festivals, right? Not only the Atlanta Film Festival?
Yeah, we've applied to a few different festivals. We just got into a few that I don't think I can say yet, but so we're kind of in that festival run, which is really what we're trying to do, is sort of get a little momentum behind it and then put it in front of some people and see hey, people like it, you should help us make this.
Yeah. What is your goal with the what do you want people to take away from Reptilia? Why people should watch it?
I think it's sort of a universal feeling of feeling isolated. We're talking about this. We were just talking about this, being an immigrant or children of immigrants in this country, and at least I am. And even though that experience is totally different from Chase and Morgan's, the sensation of feeling isolated and being surrounded by people that can't quite understand you, or you feel like you can't quite fit in, that's a universal experience, regardless of whether you are whatever you are or wherever you are. Anyone can feel that way, and I think that's what this story is about. And it's fun. It's a comedy, so it's sort of it's feel good. It's supposed to be feel good, but everyone can relate to it. It's one of those stories that even it's a lizard woman. You're not a lizard woman, but you understand what it's like to see the in crowd and you're the out crowd, or have a secret or truth that you feel like you can't reveal to people.
And being misunderstood,
Yes.
Because I think a lot of I haven't seen this, but if I see a lizard, I'm gonna think many things but the one. Because it's everybody has wants and needs, right? What is actually her goal, and that's, I think there's a misunderstanding there that I'm excited to get to know, who she is, what she has to offer. I love that you compare it perfectly to the Latino experience too, because it's, times that we live in, we cannot escape from that either. There has to be there's some of there in there. I grew up Latino and queer, it was already a lot in there, and I felt alone.
Yeah.
So I am very excited to watch this. Can you remind people when and how can they watch this?
Yes, it is at the Atlanta Film Festival, Sunday, 3 p.m. at the Plaza Theater. Sunday being May 3rd. Yes, by 3.
Perfect. And how can people, if they cannot make it to this festival, how can people follow up updates for other festivals, or at some point for them to watch it?
Yeah, it's if you are part of the festival and you missed it, there is going to be on the streaming portion of the festival. And then if you want to follow us and check in to see the progress, you can follow us on Instagram at Reptilia Pilot, and we'll be posting updates about the festivals we get into and progress on what we're doing and the moves we're making on there. And if you want to support in some way, you can reach out through there and we can communicate.
Yes, there it is. Martin, I want to talk to you real quick about the indie community and how have you felt being inside the independent film community here in Atlanta, Georgia, and why has it become so important here?
Yeah, the indie community here, I feel like it's so I'm an improviser I do a lot of improv, and so I'm very in the improv community. That's kind of where I'm entrenched the most part. And then the indie and film scene, obviously actors like to do improv and stuff, but there's sort of like this Venn diagram of overlap, and so that's kind of my into the indie scene, and that was my starting point for the indie scene in Atlanta. But I think it's great. I say this all the time. There's so many talented people here. There's talented directors, talented writers, talented actors, talented technicians, everything behind the screen, everything in front of the screen, all of it. And people are hungry to make things, and so the indie community is really like making great things, and it's a great community. Yeah.
What has been like the biggest challenge, maybe, because that's what I've been seeing a lot of, like, how can we make things better? What has been like the biggest challenge, you as coming into this industry and realizing, oh, this is not what I expected or what I thought it was going to be in the beginning?
So I think for me personally, the biggest challenge has been sort of the collapse of these traditional routes into the industry. Not collapse, but maybe just contraction, where it's like before you would be like, it was very clear, I feel like you got an agent, and then the agent started getting you on auditions, and then you started booking, right? Like theoretically, now that doesn't happen to everybody, but it's sort of like, it hasn't changed, but it just contracted, and so there's less things to book for a while. Now it's growing, and so I think there's a little bit of less opportunities. And I think but the biggest challenge for me has been the lack of like what I feel like is control or like ability to create my own opportunities is what I struggled with the most. And this is why I'm sort of throwing myself into the producing side, because I find that like we're talking about this great talent who's hungry to make things, and it's like, if you're like looking at the establishment maybe isn't the right word, the industry, it's sort of like right now it's like being like hand picking the things it wants to make, so that people can't quite get into it like they used to, and where that leaves the indie community having to bootstrap it and do it themselves. And I think a lot of people aren't. And so I think, but ultimately I think if we're talking about the biggest challenge, I think it's that how do we find funding and how do we make things, how do we get money? Like, to me, that's the biggest challenge, because like a lot of people are, they're doing these small productions that are great, but it's all like favors and like, people working for free, and that's not really sustainable to me. And I'm like, okay, so how do we find money? Like that's the biggest challenge, because ultimately we can't like sort of like create our own ecosystem if all the money is concentrated in the traditional way, right? I think.
No, I hear you, and I see, because I'm experiencing that right now, right? Like I'm working on a project too, which I'm like realizing like it's once you want to go through this route, it's harder than you expected. because like you say, like there's a traditional way that people do it in the industry, right? But I'm also a believer of like, I think Atlanta could find its own structure and make it our own, right? But there is that mystery of like, where is this money coming in from, right? What you're talking about, like where is it, and how can we find it? How can we have access to that capital, right? Because we want to create, and I think that's the biggest mystery. But I think that also at the same time, I think like the indie community here is so hungry that we're finding a way to like make that structure happen. Because like you say, you know, it's like we gotta make it a sustainable career, but if this is the way, then we have to find a way to make it work for us also to make money out of it. And because at the end of the day, it's a business, right? And we wanna live, you know, from doing what we love. But yeah, I think there is a lot about structure that we still haven't found yet, and I think it's in all of us right now. And it's like, what can we do, right? And then you know, we get with people like you, and I've seen, you know, I'm going through that same too. It's like, how can we actually get together and create something sustainable and that lasts, right? And something that has, you know, peso, that has like a weight in it.
Yeah.
And that is, I think that is a challenge that we're all going through right now. Finding a way.
I think we will. I think it'll happen. I think I'm gonna find someone who will give me money. I am gonna find someone. Yeah, I feel very confident about that.
I love that.
I have to, otherwise I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Yes. No, but that is. I think that is the way to think about it right now. It's like we have to go out and do it. There's no other way. And you said it, like the industry is going through a lot right now. So waiting for an opportunity feels like it's gonna be forever, right? So we just have to go and do it. And this is the way right now.
This is the way. Yes.
This is the way, Martin.
A little Mandalorian action. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely. Martin, what can you tell those young viewers, listeners who are wanting to go into this industry, who want to start a career in either acting, producing, improvising? What do you tell them?
Oh man, yeah, I think so. Perseverance, obviously. I'm just gonna say the same things that everybody. I'm not reinventing the wheel with this advice, right? Perseverance, make your own things. I think familiarizing yourself with you don't have to master everything. You just have to like know how it all works, you know, the components of it, and then focus on what your part of that, you know, system is, and master that, but know how everything works, because it's a collaborative art form, you know. So you I think a lot of times, especially because there's artists, you know, we're all artists, but you find these artists that are like, they get hyper focused on their thing, and it's like, this is the thing, and it's like, yeah, but you're part of a team, so like learn how to work on a team and integrate your art into what everyone else is doing together, right? Don't be so bullheaded or so like committed to, you know, the one vision that you had, that you can't compromise to make something instead of making nothing. I don't know. Yeah.
No. That was amazing. And one thing that I took from it too is like the collaboration part. I think you said it. I think it's important for people to know that this is the way to keep climbing, right? The ladder is like, you have to be able to be collaborative and understand how to work in a team environment, right? And not be the only one with like this idea, this is what we're doing, just to open, you know, to be open to other ideas and other people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a movie is not made by the director only. And that is the reality of it. It's made by a full team of people, right? That put their heart and soul into it.
Yeah. One other thing I would say is like being a good hang is important. Like I know that sounds silly, but like you're on set with people for like 12, 14 hours sometimes. And if you're kind of a bummer, it's like, It's not great. It's not great.
We don't want to be with you there.
No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's hard to say something but like, I just, learn how to hang out with people. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, and if you're not super, whatever. Yeah, just, that's all I'm saying.
No, but that's it. Be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Be cordial. Be respectful. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like those are simple things. Say please, say thank you, whatever. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I run into people and I'm like, how did you get this far in life being a jerk? Like why? Why?
Why? Right? When being nice is free. So I always say that. Be nice. Be respectful. Have fun, and we literally are making movies. It's like being kids, so we're playing around with this thing. So there's nothing, it's not serious, but it's serious and not serious at the same time. So just find that balance, and have fun. And when you gotta work, but when you can have fun.
Yeah. I'm not saying like you don't have to do like bits all the time on set. Yeah. I'm just saying like, be nice to be around, I guess. And that's, I don't know if that's a, yeah.
No, that totally makes sense. I love that. Martin, again, when can people watch Reptilia? Remind them again, and how can people reach out to the Reptilia's Instagram?
Yes. Okay, Reptilia's Instagram, @ReptiliaPilot. Reach out to us enough, give us a follow, see what we're doing. And Sunday, May 3rd at the Atlanta Film Festival at 3 p.m. at the Plaza Theater. It's under Prestige TV, episodic Prestige TV, I think is what it's under. So you won't just see Reptilia, it's us and another TV pilot together. But that's when it'll be 3 p.m.
There it is. You heard it. 3 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday at the Plaza Theater. Martin, how can people reach out to you if they want to work with you?
Yeah, if you guys want to work with me, or if you want to give me a little bit of moolah, some change, you got some loose change, you got some money burning a hole in your pocket, you can find me on Instagram at modernmountain_man. And then, LinkedIn, if you want to hit me up on there, I'm on there too, just under my name. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Please follow and support Martin's work and the Reptilias. If you cannot watch Reptilia tomorrow, make sure to follow them and see what's happening and see where they're going and offer your help if you can help them. And they're there for that, right? And we need more projects like this. We need to keep creating. I think people need to laugh today.
And if anybody sorry, I cut you off.
No. And if anybody
would wants help, just reach out to me, and I'm happy to help out, or whatever, give feedback on the script or whatever anybody wants or needs. I'm happy to help out. Maybe I can't, or maybe I can just push you in the right direction. So yeah, please reach out.
There it is, and that's a part of collaboration that we were talking about. This is it. We need more of that. Thank you, Martin, for this conversation. Please make sure to follow Reptilia and Martin, see their work. And thank you again for listening to this podcast, Lights, Camera, Latino. And please follow us on Instagram, Spotify, everywhere that you listen to to podcasts in general, as Lights, Camera, Latino. And my Instagram is Angel Fabián Rivera. And Martin, I always like to end up the podcast with this phrase that says, when life knocks you down, levántate con más fuerza, keep fighting. Hasta la próxima. This was Lights, Camera, Latino, the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. This is great.